And
the caravan, and I'm pretty sure that's everybody.
And we're live as we were playing NPC trivia. I was going through all of my
god.
Yeah, I've got my spreadsheet of all my NPCs, and I'm like, Liam's caravan, that first caravan you joined. Name me anyone else. And I thought for sure that Bird would chime right in with his good friend, with Iska's good friend, B. Artenberry.
Yes, the one we've got already one.
yes.
Yes, B. Artenberry.
Right, always the tip of my tongue.
Always.
Such a memorable character.
As she should be. Anyway, with that, welcome, friends. Welcome to the Vice. We are here gonna play a game for you all, tell a story, have some fun. We're all a little loopy, so it's gonna be a sort of free-form romp through the world of the Vice today. We've got a few things to do business-wise, but then I think we're on the road again, and we're gonna play some country tunes or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's go around and meet our players. We will start off with, from way down under, heading into winter instead of summer, Dragons or Cats.
Hello everyone, I am Dragons and Cats, and it is getting so much cooler, and I love it so much. It's just fantastic. I even got a new coat. I'll be playing Vidal Lycrin, the Hexblade Warlock, who is ready to, I don't know, actually. I have no idea what he's going to do this session. Getting back to you on that.
Woohoo! He's currently sleeping off a Ryan Talia hangover.
The things you do at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Next up, we have Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I am actually further south in Australia. I'm playing hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Dragon Wizard, because he needs more titles. Yeah, let's hope I don't get caught up going shopping. I have a list of a thing I want.
Okay. No,
List of a thing?
Yes, because I haven't thought of anything else.
A thing, and then I'm sure you've got like a list of, I need X number of 500 gold gems. So
I've already got that.
we will need to do a little bit of accounting of who's got the gold and how much actually is there still left as we get into some of this fun and excitement. Speaking of which, of gold and keeping a hold of it is... Actually, I was gonna jump right to NG9 because of the lead-in, but it's really Bird versus Plane who likes to spend gold. Sure, not really.
I bought
don't know.
anything.
I was gonna say
I earned that. I earn it. I'm a working girl.
You are
Anyways,
a working girl.
I'm Bird. I'm playing Iskatal, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger turned gold manager. I'm sure I've definitely not fudged the numbers here. I see that we have 87,000 pieces of gold last I checked, Jay. So is that...
Drop a zero maybe, but okay. Next up, we do have NG9, who is our manager extraordinaire and usually is hanging on to all the gold, all the bling.
10% of all working girl salaries. Anyway, my name is NNG9. This is Rock, who's hiding from the camera now that it's my turn. I play Luna, our Water Genasi monk / cleric / manager / punch people.
Water balloon thrower extraordinaire.
Exactly. You gotta wake them up.
Gotta wake him up. And our good friend who had been hanging out in the no think zone, but is now out there, forging sentient armor and stuff. We have Good Guy Pie.
Hello everyone, I am Good Guy Pie, and I will be playing Luck Goldhard, Adventure Extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation. Pit and problems have arisen, I think. Maybe.
Don't know. We shall see. I am Tall Squall. I am your host and your DM for this craziness that is going to be today. Hoping you all are all well out there, keeping yourselves as healthy as possible, both mentally and physically, and hopefully you can join us for a couple hours to disappear into our crazy world. We do run our stream here 100% for charity. We are supporting and have been supporting for the last 3 months, and for the next month upcoming, Game to Grow. I'm going to let Bird vs. Play tell you a little bit about it.
Sure, Game to Grow is this awesome organization that uses role-playing games like D&D for therapeutic, educational, and community growth. Basically, they reach out to kids in the community who are dealing with things such as autism, ADHD, anxiety, depression, get them together, and they create this safe space for the kids to explore their own emotions, practice socialization, build connections and long-lasting friendships. And people rave about them. They're really, really awesome people. Like Jay said, everything goes directly to them. So if you have a chance to donate, check the doobly-doo for the link. If not, check the doobly-doo just to educate yourself further and enjoy some gaming that's about to unfold.
Cool. Yep. Just down below, you can see the different things you can do on the shopping list. Subscriptions do go 100%. We put them in on the 15th of the month, which is probably going to bump us up to an 8th level spell for our party to have potential access to in the spell bank, maybe higher depending on donations. And I think with that, unless there's any further announcements, we're going to go ahead and run our intro and get this game started. Okie dokie. So, when we last left off, party, imagine, had split themselves 7 ways to Sunday. Every possible different direction that they can go. So let's just do a quick accounting of where folks are. Iska, at this point in time, having just had a fiddle off with the devil himself, with Asmodeus in their tavern, I believe is still hanging out, having some breakfast,
Just
sort
chilling
of
with the devil.
chilling with the devil, and the within their
Brunching with the devil.
absolutely in the tavern, which is basically Rion's magnificent magical manor, which he has decorated up as a tavern. Luna is off. Either had just left with Cobb from the tavern, or were you all still there? I know you were packing up. He got changed in some new clothes.
Changed, I think. Yeah, we were either still there getting ready to go out, or we just got out. One of the two.
So we can pick this up as you all are leaving. Luck and Axel are over in Ambrose's laboratory with Theo, as he has just created a set of rune forged armor out of the old cave dragon armor that they had gotten from the Black Dragon Flight. Using both Luck and Axel's Luck's arm and Axel's magic and runes, we're basically able to forge this armor that I'm going to regret every day for giving to one of my players, but that's where we are. So we now have this new dragon rune armor that has been forged, and it seems as though it has some semblance of sentience with it. Vidar, like we said, he actually went back into a trance after having waken up from his trance, went a full round with Ryan Talia, trying to bend her to his will to become his new Hexblade patron, was unsuccessful, but got a little bit further, and instead of her taunting him by refusing to turn into anything other than a rock, has now made basically a primitive stone dagger out of herself. But where we're going to start off, I think, is back in Ambrose's lab. We had Axel looking down at this armor, having just heard this voice in his head, a young adolescent voice, sort of wondering where they were. But over in the corner, we have Luck, who has picked up the spines of this cave dragon armor that he had once worn as his own, that had given him basically tremor sight, and it was covered with these long spines that had been removed by Theo to make this new dragon rune armor. And he noticed that within these spines that are laying over the side, there is that sort of thick amber-like marrow within the spines that, from what he's gleaned and picked up, were somewhat of the essence of Vorn Malak, the third of the blades of the broken spheres, the one that is dedicated to the deity of the earth of that broken place, and seems to have special potency against Netherwings. So, there in that place, the sort of static and lightning of this laboratory, this charged area where these clockwork soul-forged items have been made, and that you have both fought and created yourselves using the magic of storm and soul forging. The armor sits complete upon the table, and Luck, you have made your discovery off to the side. Theo sort of looks up and goes, oh, well, that was something. What would you all like to do?
Excellent. Well, yeah, he'll thank Theo. Thank you for this. Yes, it's pretty amazing.
The only thing that's going to be is you're going to have to socket a rune, and it is going to have a way to transfer that power. So you are going
Magical.
to need some type of something that can be a conduit, most likely a gem, Probably a fairly expensive one.
It's common, isn't it? Gems. It's probably none of the ones I have. I will look into that. Do you have like any? Because I'm discovering more of these runes over time, and I don't know when I'll be able to. But do you have maybe some notes on the process of I guess developing the armor and putting more runes on it?
Yes. Yes. It is now that we have done the original forging. It should be not too terrible to swap out one for another. It will only be able to hold the same number as it currently holds now, though, the ability. So you will have to remove one to add another. Otherwise, it might overload the
Wouldn't
magic,
want to do that.
the enchantment.
That would be a bad idea.
But yes, I can give you notes, and you'll need this. And he sort of hands you this sort of gem stone pestle, and sort of looks to Luck, and you'll need him again to get this in order to realign the magics towards the new rune. It is the impact as much as the rune itself to sort of lock it in.
Nice. Brute force works in a way. Alright, well, I'll bear that in mind. He sort of, I guess he gets some notes and bundles those away. Alright, well, thank you. I mean, yeah, it's long-term plans, but...
Well,
wouldn't want to
long-term
be left
is...
without it.
I know I'm not going to probably see you for quite some time.
Yeah, long-term. Very long-term until I next see you.
What have you got there, Luck?
Well, I was just looking at it and how it seems these spines are special and probably could be turned into some sort of weapon to fight against Netherwings.
How so?
Oh, I don't know. It's something long and pointy. Spear, maybe? Look, I couldn't tell you how it works. It feels familiar.
I believe, Axel, you have Vorn Malak, correct?
Yes, I do have Von Malak.
As you approach them, and Luck can sort of point out to you these, you notice, just with your intelligence score, notice that this marrow's inside there, and potentially as you felt that Vorn Malak was still somewhat weakened, perhaps could either make him stronger, or, as Luck has suggested, make perhaps some type of another weapon, whether it be arrowheads, spear, something ranged that could perhaps help as well. That would be the two of y'all's call. Theo sort of looks at you and is like, well, yes, I could, a spear, very much so. I could do something along those lines. As he looks at probably only 3.
You can make arrows with. Could you make arrows with these? Like, ones you could that won't just break as soon as you use them.
Maybe.
Yeah, more like a bolt, a crossbow bolt, probably than an arrow. Or it would have to be a very heavy arrow. It'd need to have a very large bow. Someone would have to be very strong to use it.
Yes. Well, think for Riley. He uses a bow, and I think it would be quite apt for him to have.
We could do that
as ammunition. There's also, well, if used dragon essence, it might be very useful for these daggers.
Very much so. So,
but what do you think, Luck?
Oh, I'd say something ranged. Dragons are not flying. It's going to be pretty hard to bring them into close quarters unless we've got certain spells at our disposal, or whatever we have to bring them down to our level.
I could certainly, like as you said, make probably if we do 3 spears, or each one of the spears could probably make 3 of these large arrows. If something got hit by an arrow of that size, it would certainly, well, it'd be dragon-sized. He kind of smiles. He's still kind of a dork.
I think that would work, actually.
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. Yeah.
I can knock those together for you fairly easily. I will put the ready by the end of the day.
Awesome.
I'll get to work on them right now. Is Riley with you or back at the inn?
He is back.
Okay. He looks to Axel. So how long is Riley's draw? And we'll say just by your intelligence level and your memory, you could give him an exact dimension. His eyes kind of widen.
It's a big boy.
Big boy you've got there.
They're not.
Yeah, these are all but like 1.5 meters long arrows. I mean, it's all but like a small ballista.
Yeah.
Well, definitely work.
I would very much appreciate it.
And the spears for you, Mr. Luck. Yes?
Yeah. Not gonna face off against something that I don't have anything that affects it.
Spear, what about a javelin?
Javelin, spear, yes. Thrown?
Up to you, Luck. You'll be the one using it, but, you can't really throw a spear as well as you can throw a javelin. And you've already got your pickaxe if you really want to for close range. But
definitely.
That's your choice.
Could make you were talking about ranged, could make a javelin, and again, I will size it towards your strength, so it will be formidable.
Let's say javelin then. I haven't thrown too many of those though.
Well, would you like me to make a practice one of the same weight so you can have something to...
Yeah, just so I can get the gist of it.
I can do that. And with that, you can see immediately he starts to get excited about the project and starts to get to work on it. Where would you all like to head to? As he doesn't as much dismiss you as just he does not even even paying attention to you anymore.
You got any other matters to deal with?
I need to get I need to get inks and stuff for my spellbook. We're gonna have a trip and I'm gonna have plenty of time. And I need to get gems and blood opal. But we'll have to talk to Luna because she's got all the money.
Right, so we best head over to Luna.
Best head back, yep. We also need to get something for Theo because he's being really nice and something nice.
Okay. So we'll say you guys head back over, and basically right as Luna is stepping out, you all are at first you think it's Nob, but then you realize that it is not. This is a taller, sort of more, certainly now better dressed, and a little bit more fit version of Noblin. You might recall it being Cobb, but he sort of stayed in the back room back at the restoration station, so you probably would not recognize him unless you had a really good eye. But Luna is sort of heading out. And you've seen Luna like this. She's on a mission.
Hi, Luna, and have I met you before?
This is Cobb.
Well, yeah.
You've been in the same area before.
Right. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
We were just looking for you. There's a couple of supplies I need to grab. Expensive supplies. And since you're the one we trust with the money, I guess I have to... I should run it by you.
How much do you need? I will give you whatever you require.
I'm looking in the... I think Blood Opal's around 3,000, wasn't it?
Blood Opal's going to be around 3,000, and then of course there's the
Yeah.
the Blood Opal. Actually, here with the other gems you're buying, word would get around that and people would know you were serious. So I would say you'd be able to find just one, but you would be able to find a Blood Opal.
Yeah. About 6,000. It's a bit, but gems are expensive. Also, the gems I'm going to be getting, they're for consuming, but they're going to be also be used for I don't know if anyone has the means for like resurrection and stuff, but they can be used for that. They've got the power for it. So,
Sorry, can you remind me how much we got from the potion again?
The potion was like 18,000 if I remember correctly. I mean, we can go back and really I can't.
I'll take 18,000. That's fine.
Yeah,
So
it was something like that along those lines. It wasn't the full 20, but it was about 18.
She gives you 6,000 gold, no problem, or whatever the equivalent is.
Yeah, of platinum and gold pieces. Yes.
Yes.
Six platinum.
Anything else?
Do you want me to grab anything while I'm shopping?
Nothing comes to mind. I've procured what I need for Cobb's debut.
All right. Oh, debut. I'd be interested in seeing what that is.
You can get a discount. And with that, she will start walking.
Perfect.
Yes. Buck, you see Nate is sitting over by the bar. He is, looks like he's tapped a new keg of something and is just doing that nice slow, of a nice, fresh one, as Axel prepares to go on a long roundabout trip of shopping.
You go enjoy yourself, Axel. I'm
Well,
going to sit down.
yeah, he is actually going to put on the armor now.
Okay, yep, you absolutely can. You setting it to anything specific, or...
He is just... do they have the setting? Do they have the resistance setting? I forgot about that.
You mean without any? Yeah, without anything, it's just basically your +1 medium armor. It's then once you put one of the runes into it using whatever the whether it's the 500 gold piece gem or if it has something specific like the fossilized amber for.
No, he doesn't.
So
he doesn't have any gems for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He'll just wear it.
And remember, you use the rune for that day when you do that. So.
Yeah. He
but
will
not
also.
Permanently, you know what I'm saying?
He's also going to see. Yeah, he'll set up outfit as well, so that something that he can wear with the set of armor, because he's going to have to update his clothing to work around it, because he's still got all the pockets that he needs and the bandolier, and this golden armor is kind of a little bit obscured by just extras. A cloak.
Yeah, no, and this is it's bone white when it is uncharged. So it's basically just sort of it a little bit disconcertingly looks a little bit like the Bone Devil you fought.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't have. It's not that as bony looking as that, but it is sort of that off-white sort of bone look to it. It looks much like the reactive armor did before, and sort of with scales. But I mean, it's pretty cool looking, and especially when you've seen the different aspects it takes on as different runes are charged into it. But in its sort of non-charged state, it's a little bit just more like a blank slate. As you turn to head out,
He would bring Riley with him to go shopping.
Okay, well, when you look for Riley, you see him leaning in the corner, striking a terrible cool pose, like trying to look cool, just so he's in view of Asmodeus. Yeah, he's kind of doing this. He might, kind of has the biceps popped up a little bit as much as he can. A little bit of a JoJo pose over in the corner. He got a hat from somewhere, like he's got pulled down a little bit over his eyes, and just trying to be very nonchalant, and he keeps Bird's got it perfectly. Just keeps changing position, trying to look cool to the King of Hells, who just doesn't even look up from his book.
Words seem draconic just above him.
He sort of walks up, stops, and just looks at Riley for a moment. Do you want to go shopping? We can get you some very fancy outfits to go with that. Maybe swap out the hat for something that suits you.
What, you don't like the hat, Dad? You don't
I
like the...
think it suits you.
So, Axel, you don't like the hat? He says in a very fake, deep voice.
You haven't called me Axel much, and no, I don't think the hat suits you. What we need to do is find someone with better sense of fashion than both of us and get their advice.
Wait, really? Can we, Dad?
Yeah. I'm going shopping, so we're going clothes shopping, and you're going to get something as well.
Oh, okay. And you see him go tearing up the stairs, and you're like, what is he even getting other than you don't? And then he comes tearing back down. I'm ready. Let's go, Dad.
All right, let's go. What were you doing?
And he tries to strut again out. He catches himself after being so excited, walking after you. And then as he passes by Asmodeus, he kind of remembers himself and tries to strut. And then he just loses it. And he's back to himself. He's maybe getting over it, hopefully.
I'm going to just let him deal with it. I'm not going to do anything about it. All right, well, yeah.
So, before we join Luna and Cobb, Iska, chilling, King of Hell's hanging in the corner. You watch this whole thing go down between Axel and Riley. Luck has gone over to having spotted the fresh keg with Nate over at the bar.
Actually, so Iska needs to get some shopping done as well, so she might play catch up or just kind of follow them out the door.
Okay.
She's got a little bit of her own gold still, according to my inventory sheet I've been trying to maintain since episode 1. I don't think it's full of lies, but
I think we finally got rid of the last platinum bar, which was worth 6,000. I think that was used for something. I'm trying to remember. But
I think this comes from leftover because it's not that much. I got 1,300 gold pieces.
That's probably about right. That seems fair.
So, she might try to go tag along. Luna's still out and about with Cobb.
They just walked out, so they're probably not far out.
What have any of us seen Vidar lately?
He has been up in his room. You have not seen him come down this morning.
I heard a crash this morning.
Yes, you did.
Honestly, I'd be worried if I didn't hear a crash.
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't know where he was. So.
That was before I went out to Theo, though. So
Gotcha.
Has he not come down yet?
Apparently not. I know how much he loves shopping, and I know how much he needs someone to oversee his shopping. So
We also have to do something about that tree.
That damn tree.
I don't know where it is, but it's probably around here somewhere.
So do you all go get Vidar?
I'm gonna go
Shopping party, guys.
I was gonna say Riley looking for cool clothes, Axel, Iska, and Vidar. I am all for the shenanigans.
Rap gently on Vidar's door
without Luna's supervision.
See how he's doing. See if he wants to come shopping with us.
So you're not getting another 6,000. That was yours. What you do with it is your business.
He's got his priorities. He actually had plenty of some of his own gold as well, so.
It takes a bit to wake him up, knock on the door a couple times, and then it's just a groggy open the door like he's being hit by a bus. It's just,
Hey, we're gonna go You look terrible.
I feel terrible.
Is this normal terrible? Is this, hey, there are people looking for you terrible? Is this...
Oh no, that's
cosmic entities are about to descend upon... A different cosmic entity is about to descend upon us terrible, or...
I hold up a flint dagger. At least it became a dagger.
Oh.
She's not doing well, and he turns around and he shows it on his back. He's shirtless at this point, just in underwear. He's haggard. He looks incredibly haggard. It just shows that there is like a scorched burn mark on his back in some celestial writing. It's like,
Is
yeah,
that a kick me sign?
I hope it's not.
And this isn't from Cilia, right?
No.
Okay.
I think she was
I had to
irritated.
ask.
Yep.
She was mad.
I mean, if it was, it would be very interesting, but...
Yeah, I don't want to yuck your yum. Anyways, we are going to go shopping. Do you want to come with? Or do you want to...
I think I need the fresh air, yes.
Awesome.
I also need to wrap things up with Winford.
Great. I think you also need pants now, just as a reminder.
shirt.
Just want to give you the heads. Yeah, that too. Okay.
All right. Give me 15. It turns out to be more like 20.
You have a beer with luck. Wait.
Yeah. So, Vidar, just as a note, even though you have gone through a 4-hour-long rest, the point of exhaustion does not seem to fade, as it seems from Ryan Taya to be more timed to the sun cycle than necessarily how much you rest.
Wah.
Iska, you go downstairs and find Nate and Luck. They've just broken into sort of an afternoon beer. It's a little bit of a light beer than what you're used to seeing Luck and Nate drink, but it's for afternoon drinking, as it's only about just literally maybe the stroke of noon, but full, flavorful, sort of an IPA type idea, hoppy and chilled. As you're over there, Luck, actually all of you, as you're sort of looking towards the bar and sort of drinking and having small talk, you do hear the footsteps of someone approaching from behind you. Just thunk, gunk, gunk. So what are we drinking? As Asmodeus pulls up to the bar next to Luck.
Mate.
It's a Balatherin pale
Balatherin pale ale brewed in the summer.
that I'll get you a mug. And he just kind of like sprints into the back, and you see a mug appear on the bar. Nate does not reappear. Sounds lovely. And he pulls himself one and takes a sip. Well, that's very refreshing. Well, we only have a few more hours together, friends. I thought I would at least have another drink with all of you. Especially you, my friend. Locke?
Civility is a hell of a thing.
It is not often that, angels and devils get to mix it up.
No. Nope. Never thought I'd be the one having to do that, though.
Well, fate gone a little bit differently, then we would be tied at the hip, so to speak. You were one of mine in the beginning.
Yeah. Don't remind me.
Speaking of your, he sort of looks around. You do not see Grain around. He sort of scans over. I mean, you know that Grain is probably sleeping up on your bed upstairs, as he's wont to do. Speaking of your more feathery side, and he pulls out a gem. It is not a blood gem, not a blood crystal. It is a dark purple crystal, and it is not like a diamond with a point on one side. It's sort of almost just like an oval shaped cut gem, and he places it on the counter. If you are going to confront the Archmistress after she receives her boon from me, you're probably going to want to guarantee on getting some help from your more holy side. And he sort of slides this across. That contains just a mote of my essence. You crack that open, and there is not a celestial on this side of the divine gate that won't show up.
So we're playing a game of pointing the finger?
No.
Vidal stumbles.
Oh, shut up, you. Fate's dealt me a bad hand before, but I'll take the punches. I don't need help from you, and sometimes even the boys upstairs. I'm perfectly capable on my own, and who I have with me. Slides it back over.
He doesn't accept it. He totally understood. But, as we are still in a hospitable situation, there are no strings attached other than there's only one entity that really gets my goat. And that is the Queen of Spiders. That damnable, treacherous goddess Lilith. And this, points the gem, would set you on a path to perhaps help with that little thorn in my side sometime in the future, and help out some of your friends, your new friends as well, who live in the dark places down below. Don't have to accept it. There is no deal. Just me once again fishing for bigger prey.
One time I agree that I want to get rid of something, it has to.
He takes it and just sighs.
I hate you know that, right?
As you should. You're not the first, you won't be the last.
I'm glad.
The one thing I will say, Luck Goldheart, unlike that bitch Tiamat, you probably don't cheat at cards. And he takes his beer and goes back over to his chair.
Yep, that is why Tiamat's in prison and one of her heads is missing. She cheats
Literally, because she cheats at cards.
So what, a jailers just in there losing every day?
Well, that's one of the torments. Oh, I do have so many fun things cooked up for her. She's got this one spot under a scale that she just can't quite scratch. That's actually been a fun one. That's been bothering her for almost an eon.
I shouldn't go getting ideas. I mean, that's Medeus and Tiamat. Vidar walks over to the bar and gets an Akipol.
Vidar, stop interacting with him. He's a bad influence.
I am a bad influence.
He's a bad influence on me, you hear Asmodeus from across the room. I, at least, obey the laws. I have order in my life. Huh?
Why does the board of 9 house make more sense than most of the people in this party?
Because I'm
charming, of course.
I'm just an idiot.
He said it, not me.
Age and treachery.
Age and treachery.
Fine wine.
This is fine. This is absolutely fine. Everything is fine.
And here you thought you were just going to be a miner for the rest of your life.
Oh, I would have given sometimes. Don't take that out of context.
I could...
No. No.
It's really quite a simple...
The answer is no!
Fine.
Migraine.
I really should stop by here more often. He kind of looks around the room. With that, unless there's anything else that anyone wants to deal with Asmodeus with, you guys can head out shopping. Nate will remain cowering in the kitchen as Asmodeus has, for a couple more hours, he's going to wear out his welcome to the very last second at the mansion. We're going to jump to Luna. As you head out with Cobb, as you all, are you ice sliding this or are you all walking?
Ice slide. You have to do it with style.
Of course you do.
This is the hot new talent. Can't walk. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, can't have any of that. Let's get you. I think we'll. I don't know. What you feeling like for this? For this, Luna, do you want Luna's theme going? It's a little bit laid back. We can get you a little something. We can give you Luck's old theme, the old Call to Adventure theme.
You know what? With her mission mode, yes, this is appropriate.
Okay. You guys head out as you go sliding around the conclave. It actually is a pretty good bevy of activity, as this is the day after the sort of big celebration. You actually see people beginning to break things down a little bit. It's not like they're in full breakdown mode, but you can tell people are starting to, after having spent a week here, sometimes 2 weeks here, are starting to get things together. Wagons are being pulled around to get loaded probably for the next couple of days. Things are still in pretty full swing, but for the most part, we are, you can tell that the big event has occurred. It's not that everyone's going to disappear overnight, but, folks are starting to get travel plans ready, as for most of them. Getting road ready, as most of them have about a month, if not more, trip ahead of them. To get back from whence they came. So, but plenty of stuff going on, tents, etc. All the different areas still set up from the big vendor areas. There's still the stadium. There seems to be a few sort of post-melee activities, some people training, just general jousting activities like that happening at the stadium. You can see there's quite a few different entertainers, both strolling entertainers and also little small stages and theaters set up over towards where a lot of the ambassadors' enclaves are, with their tents sort of around that central garden where the big party was during the convergence. You do see it's a sort of an afternoon garden party. People have got their sort of daytime afternoon best of, kind of like a British afternoon wedding happening out there with cucumber sandwiches and stuff.
Gotcha.
So there are definitely places to be. You have Cobb, who's looking a little bit nervous. Are you sure about this, Luna? I mean, I don't even usually walk around these areas.
It'll be fine, Cobb. Your talent will get you many places. This is one of them.
Okay.
If it-
I've always trusted you, Luna, so I'll trust you on this one.
Thank you. If you prefer, you can play the strong silent type, and I will do the initial talking.
Oh, that'd be good.
Gotcha. We'll proceed that way. She'll stroll forward. She's gonna see if she can find Madam V in this area, because that makes sense if she was.
Absolutely. This is where you have seen many members of the Burning Rose. Do me an investigation check just to see if it's like you walk up and you see her right there, or whether it's going to be more of a little bit of an ask around. On a 16, she's easy to spot. Madam V with her. She's in, again, everyone else is sort of in these like pale creams and grays and pastels. She is wearing her normal deep scarlet gown. It is very low cut, and fits her to an absolute T. I mean, she is making her rounds. Has a glass perfectly in one hand, balancing a little plate of canaps in the other, untouched. But as she sort of makes her circuit around and all but seductively floats from group to group.
Gotcha. I imagine Luna will try and find the moment to seamlessly flow into her floating.
Do me a courtesan skill check.
Sure, no problem. Oh no. You know what? This is for Cobb. Can I luck die that?
You can absolutely luck die that.
All right. I will tick that off. That's better.
Nice. On a dirty 20. So we'll slide you into your Luna one. It takes you a second to really get back to this. And let's face it, Madam V has been doing this for
a while.
I don't like that one. I'm gonna do this one. Has been doing this a while. So sliding in next to her took a few stutter steps, and also getting Cobb to not try to do it, to just understand that he should just walk behind. Took a moment or two, but you do slide in next to her, and she, as one of her girls, just turned to you. Luna, darling, how are you?
I am doing well, Madam V. I figured I should present you with all of our previous talks to connect you to a fresh new talent among the art world.
Well, you do know how I love fine things in life. And as a collector myself, would be certainly interested in whoever has caught your eye.
You were one of the first people I thought of. If we could find a more private venue initially, I'd like it to be for your eyes only, at least initially.
We can go to my receiving room. And she swings around with a flourish, waves to someone across the way, and the two of you go over to where she is. Truly, it does look like a receiving room. It is a smaller tent set up with two couches, a sort of a nice table laid out in the middle, with a tea set already there. There's also seems to be some carafes of finer sort of chilled sweet wines and little pastries and things like that. And she goes in and, flourishes her dress as she just all but glides down into her
Masterful.
seat and, puts her hands on her knee. So what do you have to show me, dear?
First, I'd like to introduce you to the creator. This is Cobb, and she'll indicate Cobb.
You see her eyebrow raise and a beautiful smile. Master Cobb, it is an honor, and offers her hand out to him. He kind of, is this where I'd be the silent type, Luna? And she sort of, and she just laughs. Oh, don't you worry about a thing, Master Cobb. Please, have a seat. Would you like a sweet? And you see him eyeing these pastries. She says, puts a hold to him. Help yourself.
Yeah, and Luna just nods, like, yeah, Foley, go ahead.
Yeah, and you do see him start to tuck in pretty good, too, as he has been living off watery noodles for a long, long time.
Yep. And I think actually while he's tucking in, just like, okay, here's down, it's just like, and while he is enjoying the treats there, I figured I could show you some of his creations. And so she'll pull out one of them from the crate or whatever.
Yeah, you do have the piece that he gave you, or you can show him some of the other ones.
I think to start with, because especially Madame E would definitely appreciate it. She'll be just like, this is a piece he created. He has known me a long time, and this is what he sees. And so she'll show the piece that Cobb.
You can see Cobb actually blush a little bit because he is listening in. You see Madame V's eyes widen and look at you, and then look at just everyone moved around. No worries. And look at the piece, then look at you, and her eyes. You can't help but see her eyes widen a little bit in appreciation of this piece. And she looks at you and just goes, This is exquisite. And
I think so too.
There's an honesty in it that you don't often see in the masters that I come in contact with. And so then she stops and looks at Cobb, and you can tell he's looking up a little bit, and she reaches across with this very elegant finger under his chin and says, Hold your head high, Master Cobb. You are a talent like none I've ever seen. And yes, you have much to offer this world. And you see his eyes start to well up. I thank you, thank you, Madam V. I could paint you something if you want me to. For like you see him like doing math in his brain real quick. He's like, for 20 silver, I could paint up something for you. And she looks at him and just laughs and goes, Oh, Master Cobb, you should be starting at 20 platinum, and we really should be talking about whether it should be 200 or 2,000 platinum. And you just see his mouth open up. Oh, no, I could never charge that much. No.
And like, and Luna will sort of like bend down a little so they're kind of eye level. Do you value friendship?
Yeah, but
then please do not cheapen your art. You have a wonderful talent.
I'm just a noblin. I dig noodles and paint every once in a while.
You're still that person. But this way, more people will see your work and respect it, and you can do whatever you want with that money. You can start some sort of charitable group. You can find other people to support. Do with it whatever you want. Just as I am supporting you.
I ain't never had more than 2 gold, much less 20 platinum in my whole life.
Life changes.
I mean, I never thought I'd be sitting in a nice, fine place like this with someone as fine as both of y'all talking to me like this, so I guess so. He sort of takes off his hat. Madam V, I'd be honored to paint something for you. And I'll let you pay for this first one what you think it's worth. And I promise I won't argue. And he kind of looks at Luna. Well, what she tells you it's worth.
Luna chuckles a little bit.
So does Madam V. He obviously doesn't know y'all's history, so.
Mm-hmm. It'll be worked out.
Okay. I got some other ones in here, and he pulls out some other ones. Some are landscapes. Some of these beautiful, deep greens of your forest. Sort of the sort of redwood looking sort of northwestern forests. These very damp, foggy, very green, verdant forests that were around where you were. There are seascapes. You actually see a very it almost makes you laugh. It is a painting of sort of a young Noblin family, all cooking around a fire. It's very almost Norman Rockwell-y, except that it's Noblins, and it's this whimsical painting that he obviously maybe we did someone for a gift or just sort of as a fun piece that actually is maybe almost one of the most charming of the lot, because again there's this sort of honesty to this mother and father teaching children how to make noodles. So there's about, as I said, about half dozen pieces here. And Madam V looks to you and goes, well, she looks around. We've got a garden full of bored, rich nobles. What do you say we have an art show?
Sounds fantastic to me.
And she claps her hands, and you see a couple of her younger girls from the Burning Rose come in, and you hear ask for some easels to be put up, to lay out some refreshments, to get the wine ready, to open this up. That today, girls, we're having our first Burning Rose art show featuring Master Cobb.
And so Luna will kind of like lean over and whisper to when they start bidding, that's the time to do the strong silent bit.
I think I might just, when they start bidding, I think I might just keep shoving these things in my mouth, because I don't know. And he sort of starts yes, I'll do it, Luna. I will. I'll be good.
she like goes to open her mouth and say something, and then just pats him on the shoulder.
You're gonna have to teach me how to do this fancy stuff.
I'd be happy to, since you helped me see myself differently.
You see, he's got a little bit of like cream on his mouth. Maybe eating might not be the best idea. Maybe a drink.
She'll suggest it, just like, perhaps we'll switch to drinks.
Okay, just take it. I actually can drink pretty good, so maybe that'll be it. Some of this really. He kind of looked at this wine. He's like, this wine's really weak. I could drink it all day.
Perfect.
Okay. Also, it might take the edge off. So, you all prepare for the first of Cobb's art shows. We're going to move the camera over to our shopping friends. Luck, have you decided to hang out or leave with the shopping party? Are you going to hang out with Asmodeus in the inn?
He might as well. He's in that situation of like, he's already here.
Okay. So as you sort of
dangerous.
resign yourself to your fate of here is where the beer is, and it is a no think zone. So currently you are actually one of the first times in a while you and a keg of beer are by yourself at a bar. And you do have stories. You can tell Asmodeus loves a story. So but we are going to move over to Vidar, Axel, and Bird, and Iska as you all head out to shop.
I'm going to give Axel and Vidar here the direction, because my stuff's pretty... All Iska really wants to get is a few more potions, as she is completely tapped, I think. Some decent potions.
Okay.
And maybe just a couple, like my restoration... it takes a certain amount of diamond dust.
Mm-hmm.
So just some, and potentially, if there's one here, a 500 gold piece diamond.
Okay.
Or something bigger.
Yeah, and we did.
Well,
if
Axel's good shopping for those. So.
Yep. And if you do recall, we did change those that didn't have to be diamonds. That it was any gems. That's one of my conceits. But yeah,
same amount. Yeah, just yeah.
So
Vidar puts on some illusion, some gaudy ass sunglasses, and turns to Iska and says, "Can I have some money?"
For how?
Let's stick together.
Can we go together?
We'll go together. What do you want to buy? Is there do you need gems or anything, or dust? Because I think we'll buy that bulk all together. And I'm planning to go shopping for me and get clothes for me and Riley.
I do need some powdered silver to be able to write my magic circles, though. Other than that, there's not much that I need.
Okay, well, before we do anything...
Sounds like he doesn't need much money then.
Before we do anything, Vidar, just in view of Riley and Axel, please just agree with me that you won't spend any money without me first approving, okay?
Don't have any money to spend.
All right, just shake on it, all right?
Shake.
I'm gonna sneak some gold into his hand while that's
nice.
Give him a wink, and
I know how much you make.
Even if I did see that, I would have
it.
just sort of turned another eye. Right.
Okay, so it sounds like y'all are looking for a jeweler first. I heard Vidar say he wants to do wants to stop by Linfort's Libations, and then a potion store. Is that what I was hearing correctly?
Yeah.
So, roll me. We'll start Iska with potions, since she was the one who mentioned potions. Roll me an investigation check. Actually, everyone roll investigation check, and that's what order we'll do it in.
I also like potions, but where is my character? I've lost them. They're gone. So I lost my character. It's all over.
It's all over.
Let's leave now. There we go.
Luck disappears in Axel disappears in a puff of logic.
I mean, he is hidden.
Hey. That time hit.
Okay, on a 26, so jewelry store. you all hit first. And in fact, you do find... oh, yeah, Riley. Riley gets very distracted multiple times by cool clothes. They are not cool. They are pretty awful. Namely, they are bright and have far more fabric in far more weird places than that they should ever... anyone should have allowed. These are things that pretty much would have matched Monsieur Valsoir's big purple hat type idea. So you kind of keep him moving along, but you do come down to the same area actually where Luna is having her meeting. She's probably right in the middle of it right now, where all of these sort of ambassadors are. And you do find, it's interesting, among all the tents, you do find a series of walk-in sort of caravan wagons. Most of them are very strongly built, almost like steel sides or reinforced sides with steel, heavy wagons, kind of the equivalent of a medieval armored truck. And asking around, people do point you to that there's a small sort of cul-de-sac with about 4 of these wagons set up with doors, some through the back, some through the side, but all of them are different proprietors of gemstones or jewelry. A lot of them are set pieces that are set. So how many are you looking for? How many 500?
So he was going to just be looking for like 2 or 3. He'll probably bump that up to about 4 or 3, considering that he'd one for Iska. He's also looking for fossilized amber and a blood opal.
Okay, so for the first, the 500 gold gems. Well, the blood opal is going to be the hardest thing to find. Mm-hmm. With your investigation, we'll go with the 26. After stopping in a few places, finding 4 500 gold piece gems is actually not that hard. Most everyone, some of them will have to take them out of pieces of jewelry, but these are people who have brought big or sets of jewels, basically their prize jewelry pieces, in order to sell to some of these ambassadors. And so you're able to find, most of them have 500 gold piece loose gems, also knowing that they're used for magical means. This is right near where the Arcana Mystica is set up as well. So, finding those is not a problem. However, I am going to need you to roll for the blood opal. I want you to roll me. How do we want to do this? I want you roll me a D100, and you can call high or low.
I'm going to be calling high is good. Ooh.
On an 18.
These D100s do not like me.
On an 18, you find one person who seems to be willing to sell you one. However, they have marked it up significantly. It is it's going to be instead of normally, it's probably about 3,000. They want 3,500 for it. He sort of gives you the take it or leave it.
That's a bit. Yeah, I think I'll take it.
Okay.
What better way to get rid of the Netherwing, right?
It is a way to get rid of an Netherwing. And as far as the fossilized amber, I believe, what did we say? Fossilized amber was 250 per.
Okay, that was fossilized amber, because I got it confused with just being amber. Then he's already got some, and I don't think he'd worry about it.
Well, no, because the fossilized, there's amber, and then for your time spell, it needs to have a, it's got to be like a Jurassic Park one with an actual something in it.
Yeah.
which I claim we had. I don't know. Actually, those were they 1,000 a pop?
I think they were quite a bit more.
Oh yeah, it's 1,000 a pop because that's a problem. Is you have to dig through amber or you have to actually dig through to try to find them. How? Roll me a d6 if you want to go through amber to see how many you find.
Yeah.
On a 6, you actually, with a good eye, are able to spot and you're sorting through amber. You can find 6 if you'd like to buy all 6 of them.
Yeah, but they're what, 1,000 pop?
1,000 a pop.
Yeah. He doesn't actually have. He's probably just gonna get one,
Okay.
and then yep.
I mean, Luna is close by if you want to, or you can reach out over the telepathic network if you want to try to get more gold, or you can tell him you're coming back. I mean,
I'm just gonna get. Yeah. He'll probably come back. I just need to get my numbers sorted with how much I've got and how much, because Axel's not planning to go ask for more. Self-sufficient boy.
Yeah, you can always send Iska. She can go sweet talker manager.
That's why Axel gets money. No questions.
Cool. So, what did you say? You got 4 500 gold piece gems, a blood opal, so that brings you up to 5,500, 6,500 with the 1 piece of fossilized amber. Iska.
I can give you the 500 for one of those,
Okay.
Axel. I'll go and remove it from mine so you can save 500 of yours.
Yeah.
Okay, just as long as we're all accounted for. So it was 200 and 2,000 in gems, 35 in the opal, and 1,000 right now for the amber. Cool.
Yep. Cool. That's actually exactly what he was looking for. And yep. And diamond dust. I believe. Did we manage to find any of that here?
You can certainly someone can grind you down some gems into dust. I believe it's 250 gold worth, or is it 100 gold worth for your spell?
Oh, you know what? I just realized. Sorry, go ahead.
Mine's 100, so.
100. So however much gold that you can get for straight price. There's no roll on that. So they can grind down whatever to give you. So however many 100 gold you want to spend on that.
Okay, I'll grab just 2's worth for him.
grab
Could
two as
Luna
well.
have given Axel some extra money? Because I forgot I was going to need some diamonds
Okay. Yep.
for stuff.
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
you could have.
Yeah. So she gave you, I don't know, like 900 more gold.
Okay, and what were you wanting?
Diamonds specifically.
No, specifically diamonds of how much worth?
300. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Again, easy enough to find in these places. Are you grinding? Whether you grind them or not doesn't really matter, but you're able to get whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, Axel has the means to do that anyway. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Next up, it was Iska looking for potions. What all do you want to find? Again, on a 24, you can basically find however much you want. What you have available, certainly in normal potions of healing, those are pretty easy to find. For the greater potions of healing, which is is the next level up. So greater potion is 44 plus 4.
How much are greater healings?
They're 150 a pop. You could probably find up to 8 of those if you wanted to. Once you get to once you get to the higher than that, they're going to be more rare. Not that they're not going to be able to find them, but
I'll grab 2 graders then.
okay. Yep, that's 150. They're pretty common here in this, basically a city type idea.
Run out of money. I'm running out of money.
I'll probably get 2 graters and just maybe 2 more normals,
Okay,
just for some.
gotcha.
And let's see how much this adds up to.
Would they be willing to trade Neverwing wings for potions.
You're gonna pull out a pair of nether wings in the middle of this place? Just ask him.
I'm gonna ask him if he could come inside and just have a look and see if he'd like to trade some oddities for some very rare oddities.
We're just going to. So Vidar doesn't tell you what he's doing because Vidar doesn't do that sort of thing. He just takes this vendor and sort of walks him around the corner, and in standard comedy movie thing, you then see a vendor go screaming, running down the street, goes into their store and closes their shop.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, now it's something.
Okay, I tried to haggle sapling wings for potions.
Oh my god! Did you at least offer a good deal?
I mean, clearly he didn't. I mean, for some
Clearly he
reason,
was
I
just
don't think
terrified.
honestly, I don't think there's probably like any sort of market for netherwing wings.
But think of like the plaque, like putting them up on a plaque.
You know what? If you want to try and sell it to, rich people, you go talk to Luna about it.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah.
But you're not talking to Luna about it until we've finished here.
No.
Because we don't want to annoy her.
A lot of other people might poo-poo this idea, Vidar, but I do remember this one gentleman. I think we're going to be passing through Sojourn soon. Name a Herald. I think him more than anyone would love to see these things, and just might really give you something good for him.
You're not even wrong, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, no, that is correct.
That's a good
Fight
thought.
NPC trivia, let's go!
I don't know if I don't know if I've met this Harold, but I'm let's.
Didn't we meet him again?
Back through, y'all stopped in at Harold and Maud's. You met Harold the Orc,
Oh yes, of course he would love these.
guy who hunts in the vice.
Big dude, got the wife, super into luck, but none of us really comment on it because it's none of our business.
That's
that guy.
right. They invited me back for dinner, but I got stabbed by Celia, so I couldn't make it.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
It was Tuesday.
So just like, thank you. Let's use that there. I might use one of them in kind of to melt down into an ink. I don't know. There's ideas brewing.
You can talk to me about that.
I mean, if you're down to
Look, I've handled weird things to make into ink before. We can talk about that later. Don't go around showing your wings to people.
Same goes to you, buddy.
I have not yet.
So
Sorry, I had to go that way.
you guys head back towards Linford's now, as that's where Vidar sort of starts walking you all as you're having this conversation. And as you walk by, it does not take a second or two. Why, boy!
There's a tree there.
Vidar!
I told you. Linford, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's good to see you. How y'all? Y'all come right on in here. Y'all have something. We've got some business to discuss because while I hauled that damn thing all the way over here from Falcon's Crest because I'm a nice guy, I ain't hauling it all the way back. Pointing at the tree, which now seems to have collected just more and more, party detritus. Just things. Weird necklaces, weird undergarments, other lost and found.
You gotta admit, it does add character, doesn't it?
What kind of decorating do you do, boy?
He has no sense of taste.
Well,
I'm talking about taste.
Well, I was going to say the tree is bad enough, but when you put all that stuff on it, I ain't going to touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Back in my day, we used to use a pole to make sure the traps didn't go off when we were venturing. And
Really?
I tell you that.
10-foot pole.
Really?
That is a trap right there.
Okay.
Like, well then.
Math right now.
I'm sure there's some form of deal we could come to. Maybe a place in Sojourn, or just to put it out front of the West.
Oh, if you are welcome to haul it to Sojourns if you want. I ain't going that way.
Oh, we do have a car. We need to go and get to.
That's true.
I mean, you're fun to drink with and all. And, boy, you
I
sure,
appreciate that.
no hard feelings about the other night.
I really do appreciate the private space. And with the...
I'm glad to see you're not dead. Usually by Serena, don't leave them alive the next morning.
What?
It just.
He came in
counts to
here.
my
He
character.
came in here with the Vice Serena, and
Yeah,
she usually kills them.
Yeah, it was after I opened my big stupid mouth when I shouldn't have, and I may have. Well, we had a discussion. Found out we had a discussion. Tried to kill me for ruining the scene.
Right.
Checks out.
Business.
Yeah. Okay. We I think I saw you leave, and I probably should have done something about that. But
We all should have done something about
And New Titans,
a
yes.
lot of things.
Linford definitely is Foghorn Leghorn. It's like white suit and all.
Foghorn Linford.
Yep.
Say boy.
Boy!
Okay,
Boy, I said, boy.
You got to get this tree out of here.
Are we
That's all
take-
I'm telling
All right.
So are we, Vidar? Are we really taking the tree back? Or is that the plan?
You know what? You
believe
can
so,
roll
unless
it,
I could-
but,
I could roll it.
you
Here,
roll
here.
it.
I'm not touching it, but I'll do this. And she'll use her Cly Lyre to cast the levitate on the tree, so it's lighter and he should just be able to like push it. A little bit.
this tree.
We've discussed levitate's not going to call down another wing, right?
No.
On a tree, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
You
Well,
can
wasn't it a height
certainly
restriction
try.
too? So
Yeah, I was gonna say you're below the tree line. You know that
Okay.
below the tree line is usually fairly safe.
This is
And,
levitating like 6 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that works.
do me a performance check as you play your lyre to levitate this tree. On a 23, it levitates. There's this weird lurching moment as it pulls out of whatever. It seems to be. It's got sort of like those branches right at the right height where people can sort of hold onto a branch and lean over and puke. It sort of up out of this sort of moist, muddy surrounding of it with a squelch and a smell.
Hey, Luna, I hope you're having a good day, and this is not meant to interrupt your activities.
Is it
Just
Vidar?
as a heads up, we're gonna
Vidar?
need a power wash station at some point tonight. Okay.
Is it Vidar?
Only tangentially.
The equivalent of click. You make run your hand.
Well,
I do appreciate you bringing it over.
now that you're taking it off my hands, I will offer you a drink. And he hands drinks all around of Linfort's good, non-drug, non-poisoned stuff. And you
I
guys...
appreciate it. The next time you do not poison me, even if it is with the Vicina.
Oh, that's business. She's got more.
Yeah.
She's got more on me than I've got on half of the Falcon's crest. If she asked me to do something, boy, you're lucky I didn't kill you myself.
Yeah.
I like him more now.
Yeah.
He's Foghorn Leghorn, but he also runs a business and runs a legal adjacent part of his business with the.
Look at here, boy. I got a business to run, boy.
Exactly. I don't cross the Vice Arena, and I would advise you not to either.
I'm trying to get on a good side.
A last drink before we head our separate ways, and that is out of my establishment that it has been parked in for so long.
Yes.
It's going to be in our establishment now. Goodness.
Do appreciate it very much.
I would like to say it's be missed, but it absolutely will not be.
I will
Unfortunate.
miss this. As he's exhaled up like a pint. I will miss this though.
It is some of my nicer stuff.
It's good. Do you like it, Riley?
As we are closing down here, I brought a little bit extra than I thought I find myself with a little bit more than I was expecting here at the end. That disturbance seemed to quell some of my customers' tastes. So, if you've got coin, I could have a coin and way to transport it. I could certainly part ways with some of my extra stock.
I mean, spitball me a number.
Well, I've got plenty. How much I could give you? I give you a half keg for 50 gold. Or if you'd like it in bottles, I could get you a nice crate of 12 bottles, a little easier to handle, for 25. Not quite as much volume.
Tell you
I
what,
was thinking, that's not bad.
give us a crate and give us a kick.
Very well. Then.
Do you
certainly
have any
with that-
money to pay for that?
Yeah, it's just
Vidar?
like what with what money?
Certainly
Vidar?
with that quantity, though, perhaps there would be a bit of a discount.
Oh, looky here.
We take.
Just a bit of one. Sorry, I just all this talk of prices and stuff. It's making it hard to focus on the. Start like wobbling the tree as if it's gonna like just drop back down.
Okay, do me a persuasion with advantage. You. Nice that you had advantage.
Oh my god!
Oh
With a
my
natural 1 and a
God.
natural 2. But a 16 will do it. You see him sort of, his eyes widen, and he goes, I like your style.
Hey.
Like your style, girl. I'll give you the keg.
Business here.
We'll give you the keg and the crate for 60 gold.
Oh, now I can concentrate just fine. Hands it right over.
Funny how that happens. Funny how that happens.
My baby's growing
And
up.
I am just enjoying a drink right here. I'm not like.
Remind me to introduce you to my friend the Vice Arena, and he gives you a nod.
I'd be happy to never have our names mentioned. to the vice
Drinks
again.
again.
Yeah, he's jovial,
But,
he's charming, and
Vidar grabs the bottle and finishes his glass.
so yeah, you can put in your inventory. You've got a keg of Linfort's finest, as well as bottles. You can do it different. We can make it up as we go along with what's in the crate. It's a nice mixed,
Yeah.
but it's the good stuff. And he gives you a smile, and I think as you guys, before we have an art show, which I think we'll probably start off with the art show, let's go ahead and take our quick break, and then we are going to have an art show, and then we are getting on the road, because it's happening this time. We are not having...
Reals,
finishes
really
his
reals.
drink.
For really reals, we are getting on the road. So we're going to take a quick break, we're going to have some pun of the week, and we will be right back.
Vidar walks out with that bottle.
All right, Bird, do you want to do the spiel?
Sure. Yeah. As always, we are raising money for charity, and currently we are raising money for Game to Grow, which is an awesome organization that uses Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games for therapeutic and educational development. They work with kids who have autism, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and other sort of emotional or mental struggles. And they use these games as a way to not only build their self-confidence by teaching them rules, letting them play, letting them win in scenarios, getting them to win in scenarios. They also build their social development skills by creating friend groups that last not only in-game but also out of it. They're wildly successful at what they do. You can check out their website down in the doobly-doo. You can donate if you so choose. But if you don't have the money or you don't choose to donate, that's fine. Hang out with us. Laugh at wobbling trees and drunken shenanigans and goblins and their artistic abilities. Don't laugh at those. Respect them. It's Cobb's great.
Those are great. Don't laugh at the talent. There's a charge for that.
Respect Gob.
Respect. Put some respect on his name.
Gobbity
all right?
Gob. Gobbity Gob.
Respect. Otherwise, you're gonna have to see Luna with them hands. I'm just saying.
There you go.
All right. GGP, do you have a recommendation this week?
I do. It's a video game. I've been playing it a lot, and it's a video game I said I wasn't going to buy last month, but I brought it anyway because I'm stuck in quarantine. So it's called Daemon Ex Machina. You play with mechs. You get to play Gundam mech that shoots things and swords and missiles. In some missions, you get to play really big mechs that destroy everything. And sometimes you get to play as a little person that shoots a little pew laser. But the main important part here is the mech that you get to fly in, and the movement is fantastic. It feels like it has weight. It moves to the left and moves to the right, and it has momentum that swings about, and you rush and fly and maneuver your abilities. And my God, is the movement in that game so good? Just buy the game for the movement alone. Not the plot could do better, but I don't play that game.
I feel like my money is draining out of my wallet at this very moment.
Well, so there you go. There's Good Guy Pie's recommendation. And here's my mistake, Rock. He's going to join us for everybody's favorite segment, Pun of the Week. What do you call a belt made out of watches?
What?
A waste of time. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Oh, I'm glad I got my beer for that. I don't think I could have made it through the rest of the session with that pun without having a beer.
Oh, Rock, you don't have to run away from the pun, I promise. That's the only one today for this stream.
Man, oh man, I wonder if I can find it real quick. I wrote up this great set of auction rules. Remember at East we did the auction, we did the sorcerer's auction?
We did do the auction, and I did not roll down write down those rules, unfortunately.
I've got them written down somewhere, but me trying to find them, that would have been fun.
I want to be in Grapple Mania. Don't kick me out.
Do I have 100?
Hey, 100, 150.
Do I hear money?
God.
Money.
I am decidedly my father's child, because I've sent him that same pun without the answer, and he's just like, a waist watch? It's like, so close. I'm of his blood.
Yeah. Nope, don't know. Can't find. Hey, Fernando, $5. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, they're in there somewhere. Anyway, since the money is going to Cobb, it's not as critical for us to have it. It just sort of been fun to see what his paintings actually went for. Yeah, it was a really neat system too. I just can't remember because we got
back to that episode.
We got some good rolls in there, and that was the reason why it worked out so well. It was in East, like right when we first got there, but
I just have the results of the numbers. I don't have the
I don't have what I did for the thing. I might have to go back and watch it, but that was fun. I might get those back in my head for another time.
We can do it if it really matters. We can time warp just like this is what was actually made. Otherwise, we can do Cobb made money.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's pretty much it. The auction was very successful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question.
Yes.
How much would some nice clothes and clothes shopping for Riley and Axel be? Just so I can deduct.
Yeah, I would say as long as it's not. I mean, for tasteful, good clothes here, and especially since there are lots of tailors around here and things, you would probably. I would say. Stylish, good-looking clothes. Let's say 10 gold for an outfit.
Okay, yeah. Axel's only needs some stuff tailored, but he needs like clothes for Riley.
Yeah, because Riley doesn't have really anything other than his Mirage.
Yeah. I mean, he's in Mirage form at the moment, but of course he wants to look like Asmodeus. And since I'm a good dad, I'm gonna let him embarrass himself. With the advice from the actual person who's making the clothes on what looks good. So he's gonna
topic.
Give him the hot topic.
Get him. But yeah, I'll get him some clothes that, under suggestion from the person who knows what looks good, but also with the idea of what he actually wants,
Okay.
and not sort something out, and get him a hat or two because he clearly wants them. I'm just gonna let him make all his own mistakes.
So I just have one request for all of this.
Yeah.
Please, we're gonna roll some perception checks. And in the shopping party coming from Linford's, because you all are close to where the big garden was, we'll roll perception to see if you all see her. Please have you all come into this garden party with a floating tree and all of y'all.
Oh. Oh.
I totally want y'all to crash. Luna's.
So
Look at that.
No.
With a natural
But I was
20,
like, no, I am
I'm just
not
gonna let the
going near
dice tell
her.
the story. You're gonna spot Luna, and dude, it looks very fancy, and certainly you can help with this. You definitely can help.
I'm
You
really
can save the
good.
world minus a limb.
There's an auction for art pieces going on, and you've got a tree that is obviously art.
Wisdom save for preserving his health. Oh shit! No, he doesn't even get to make that.
There is multiple castings of prestidigitation along the way as we're
Yeah.
walking. It's just, all the gunk just goes off.
There's like this
It's
trail.
pristine.
There's like a trail of like panties and.
Jesus Christ!
Uh,
Oh no, and none of us notice.
so
In fact, if I might go a different split off from the party at that point. Before, who knows?
Before we do that, though, because I want to keep poor Alicia in suspense that it's coming.
He's dead.
We're gonna go back just to check in, just because Luck and Asmodeus.
Oh no.
Let me get to Asmodeus's music. Just because, of course, we need Asmodeus's music. There we are, Asmodeus. I have a playlist.
Yeah, it's a playlist.
You could, if there were a clock in the room back at the tavern, it would seem as though seconds were. You would hear every click, of another second of how slow time seems to be passing as it counts down to the end of Asmodeus's hospitality within there. Luck, you are at the bar. Asmodeus is sitting in his chair, no longer reading, just sort of sitting and looking over at the bar at you. Actually, I think. Oop, sorry, didn't need that. Yeah. And he attacks! No.
Why do I hear boss music?
Yeah, no, sorry. So. As you were somewhat bound to the hills for quite some time, I did keep an eye on you, would look in every once in a while. There was an interesting evening in which you won a hat from
What
a
about the hat?
easy wager on a story. So, willing to spin a tale for the devil? Like Goldheart?
Yeah, Mr. Lawful Good.
Yeah, Mr.
You know, we are both like order in our lives, and some say evil and good are just opposite sides of the same coin. You know, chaos does not become us.
What story would I tell to someone who's seen it all?
That is true. You can always surprise me. Or we could talk about something else. I still have 62 minutes.
Fine.
Do you not have any questions or a story you'd like to hear from the devil himself?
What was Moldog's thing with pit fiends?
Pit fiends are a blunt tool, but they're very effective, like your pickaxe, but not nearly as refined. You know, and he snaps his finger and there's a pit fiend sitting basically there in stasis. Oh, don't worry. And he sort of like lifts it up and he like literally is like showing it off like a prize horse. Claws, very effective. And you see this, he like lips up those fangs, poison on the teeth. Fire resistance, of course, but everyone seems to know that one these days. You wouldn't believe how quickly adventurers learn about that. Oh, don't use a fireball on someone from the nine hells. I'll have to come up with something more creative next time. And then he like literally is going through like this pit fiend is just like standing there as though he were some like chihuahua that he was showing off to you.
Showing off his miniature collection.
He really is. He's literally showing you off his action figures.
Yeah. Also.
I've got more interesting things than this, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Here's a story. How did you become King of Nine Hells? Where did it all begin?
Now that is...
You know where I began.
That's true. Well, that is, in fact, quite a tale. Involves lots and lots of conniving and contracts, and, you know, back there in the beginning, everything was quite a mess, really. And it didn't become me, really. All this just destruction for destruction's sake. It gets quite tiresome, and so I decided, as many do, of the young devils, to just say, well, let's just make this off limits. This one thing. And from that little planted seed of a law, you can build another one, and then another. I mean, our oldest one is that our word is our bond. That's where it really all began. That was my idea, in fact. Before that, you know, hey, I'll give you 50 gold if you go kill that guy, and then you'd show up and I'd go, ha ha, I'm not paying you, and then no one would go kill the guy for you anymore. But for one who pays their debts, starts to go kill that guy for 50 gold. Well, go kill that duke for 50 gold. Go deal with that king for 50 gold. Go kill that archfey for 50 gold. And that is how you bring order to disorder. Because if you always pay, they know you're good for it. That's where power lies. Power doesn't lie in the power to destroy. It's always handy. But real power lies in that people will do things based off of your word. It's why you are so powerful, like Goldheart. You follow through. If you say you're going to be somewhere at 3 o'clock, you're there at 3 o'clock. That's a powerful thing. It's often overlooked in this world because so many people are so flippant with their word, with their promises, with their, oh, I'll be good as long as it suits me. But you are good even when it is hard. You follow through even when it's not something you like. You are the most dangerous person in this party. To someone like me. Celia, she's a known quantity, but also a loose cannon. But you, if you told me right now that the last thing you ever did with your last dying breath was to kill me, I would have no doubt that it would happen. And that is something that will scare even the King of Hell himself.
Nah. I'm not someone who follows through. I'm just afraid of failing others. It's just a side effect of what I'm afraid of.
What are you afraid of? What keeps you up at night?
Seeing everything I've worked for go to waste. Seeing the fact that I stand on a mountain of success, all because of others. And realizing that at any moment it could crumble down. And finally figuring out that maybe I'm not a kind man, but just compensating for it.
He nods at you, listening carefully to your words. Civilizations rise and fall. They crumble to dust, even under the best intentions. But no matter all of the things that I've done through all the eons, I've never been able to extinguish the light of one good man. And what that single point of brightness amongst all the evil that I've sown, I can do. I can shroud it, I can hide it, I can bury it beneath entire mountains. But someone, somewhere, will see that light no matter how hard I try, and it will ignite in them. And that person will carry on that torch of the good man who thought he failed and march that light forward through all time. You might not think that you're good or you're kind or that you're compensating. But I can tell you, there's a young man, barely in his teens, from 3 nights ago, who knows unshakably in his heart of hearts that he was saved by a good man, and his life will be forever different because of it.
Now, if you take my word that seriously, know this. I'm going to deal with Loth. Free the drow. And then whatever victories you may gain from all the plans you have sown, I'm going to stop you. Not now. I'm not ready for that. But get your armies ready and find your best way to defeat me, because I will be coming for you.
I know. I saw it in you back when you defeated Moldog. And for good or ill, like Goldheart, our paths will cross many times. But today, it is nice to have a beer with a man who I will face across battlefield after battlefield, across a single soul, and across a multitude of armies. But today, respect Luck Goldheart.
Respect, King of Hells.
With that, we will swing our camera. That was. We'll swing the camera back over to Luna, who is
Going to kill Vidar when she finds out. But
yeah.
yes, and
But first, you've got things are going wonderfully.
so well.
Actually, just amazingly well, as this garden party has come together to be Cobb's first sort of showing of his art. He is nervous, and you can see it's funny. He's nervous, but as each one of his pieces goes up, he kind of looks at it kind of lovingly. And you can see there's a little bit of that each one has a special place in his heart. And he will be sorry to see them go. But he also knows this is, his future. And there's just, before it all gets started, in this beautiful tent of draped silks and silver and table settings and candles and magical light and little canaps and butlers with silver trays of wine, this garden party art show. You're taken back to your childhood. where Cobb was this awkward, shy, young noblin who, with pieces of charcoal, would make little stick figures on the walls of the houses in your village, usually towards the back, because they were not truly welcome in your village. They had a small encampment outside, but you catch him sometimes looking your way. And then here he is now. And he sort of looks over his shoulder at you and kind of gives you a smile and kind of rubs the back of his head. Well, I don't know. Guess we'll see, huh?
Yeah. Thank you for letting me share this experience with you.
Well, thank you for letting me have this experience. I mean, I'd still be... I mean, just this morning I was out on the backside of camp here. And now, I never seen something so fancy. And that my art's right here in the middle of it. I don't know. It's just... It's like a dream. But even better than what I ever dreamed could be. I just was hoping someone might buy one or two things.
It's been a long road for both of us, with many turns, I think. But Cobb, you are my oldest and dearest friend. You've seen me when I was young and defenseless, just sitting in the rain with no one to talk to. And even then, with few words on my end, you can see all these different facets of people, of me. I didn't think I'd ever be anything more than someone's tool.
Well, yeah, I remember those. I used to leave you flowers on the back stoop. I don't know if you ever got them. But when I'd see you cry out there and know you were sad, I just couldn't watch them as they were treating you like that, and knew that there was nothing I could do about them because they treated me the same way. But you were kind of my flower that made me think things were good. And you knew, even though I couldn't be yours, that I could at least bring some to you.
I saved all of them, as long as I could. I've never been particularly good with plants, but I did my best. I never understood it. I didn't understand how anyone could like me. Being useful and being liked are very different. I didn't know how to smile on the outside then, but I think inside. They made me smile.
Well, we a pair. You get to see a lot when you don't say a lot.
Agreed.
About that time, Madam V comes in through the front. So, are we ready, dears? We've got
Yes.
quite a few interested parties. They... I didn't have to pull many strings. Once I told them that there was only a limited number and a new and exciting artist, there was quite a clamor amongst some of the nobility. So we'll see.
So we will. And thank you again for hosting this event.
Oh, don't you worry, I'm taking my cut.
That is what I expect.
Shall we usher in our newest venture? And she lifts a glass to y'all and motions.
Luna will,
Oh,
lift
go
the
ahead.
glass too. Yeah, the Luna will lift the glass, and I think before they go out, she'll kind of lean back down towards Cobb. Is it all right if I'm a little selfish, Cobb?
You can do whatever you want, Luna.
And she'll lean forward and give him a kiss on the cheek. Thank you for everything.
He kind of he looks up at you and his eyes are sort of big and wet with tears. I always knew you were something special. He just kind of rubs his cheek.
All right. Time to introduce Cobb to his adoring audience.
I'm just going to sit over here and drink this, okay? And he kind of walks over.
That's enough of an introduction, I think.
Yep. And the sort of
And then,
outer side of the tent sweeps open, and there are some very well-heeled of the ambassadors and nobility, the people that you saw rubbing elbows with the gentry, with the royalty of this whole garden. And they start coming, and immediately you see, if you've ever been to art show before, it's very easy to spot people who get, it's almost a gravitational pull to a piece of art that immediately catches their eye. And there's not a piece that doesn't gather people. In fact, you can see, even as you're in there, Luna, with your sort of very eye for commerce, we'll say, you can absolutely start to see the people who are going to be in bidding wars. You start to see them having those sidelong glances, assessing first is that person building, and then you see them doing the assess their clothes, their jewelry. What am I going to have to pay to outbid this person? You see it like you were reading a book. And as you sort of are watching people and almost take a step back and see this, you see Cobb over there. You do see Madam V take one high elven couple over to introduce to Cobb, and obviously friends of hers who are very gracious and interested in to this. And you see Madam V begin what looks to be a negotiation, perhaps for a commission or something. And it's where you sort of step back a little bit out into the garden area outside of the tent. You hear something as Vidar, on his natural 20 perception check, and the rest of your party, with that damn floating tree, start pulling in. Unfortunately, the guards do recognize Iska from the night before of having an invitation to be in this space, and they let them right through.
I think Luna, because like she was feeling like, oh, this is so nice and everything, and then seeing that's kind of like record scratch. I think she has her wand of smiles, and she just kind of like pastes a smile on, walks forward. The smile is arguably nice. The eyes are manic. Someone's dying.
We'll switch back to this music.
Just kind of, she'll walk up to intercept them. Hello, were you here to be part of the auction, or just gazing and about to walk by?
Oh, hi. Oh, my God. Just like the smile combined with the eyes.
I turn to Iska and say, look, I really didn't want to say anything, but I saw this from halfway down the street.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
Y'all have never seen Luna with a
Smile like
full-blown smile like that. There's a weirdness. Speaking with Asmodeus was very unsettling. This might be right up there with as unsettling as the King of Hell sitting across the table from you. Axel? Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, okay, we going something else here.
Like, you have heard nothing telepathic. It is all out there. Just like, please, I'd be happy to help you with whatever you need.
Just wanted to stop by, and we heard about what was going on, and offer a bottle of congratulations.
Yes,
It's Lisbeth's finest that I took.
Do me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Me?
No,
Oh,
Iska.
okay.
On a 9, kook. With a large crash, you have lost concentration on your levitation spell. The tree falls to the ground and falls over.
Oh,
Hey, look what we found.
It
Axel's
seems
coming
you
back
have-
when he hears that.
Oh, okay. It seems you're having trouble with your package. Allow me to help you write it. And so she just kind of like, I don't know, even if it's just like is she like mud bin or anything, so it's like set back up and pushed out of the venue completely. You understand that the only pieces allowed here are by the artist. I'm sorry. I'm sure there will be another occasion for you to display your piece, though. Anything else I can help you with?
Iska, you look around. Axel, who was behind you, is gone.
Yep, and Riley.
Yeah. Actually, roll me a stealth check for Riley, because
Yeah.
actually
I think
probably a
when he heard it
disadvantage.
fall over, he came back and now he's sort of like far distance. Like you can see him, but he's a safe distance away.
Vidar,
Sounds
go ahead.
Vidar was frozen on the spot, in fear. He's mustering up the courage to be like, of course, thank you so much for the opportunity to come back and display it later on.
No problem. Happy to help.
A bottle to celebrate.
Thank you. I will send it to the artist with your regards. It is appreciated. I hope you have a wonderful day.
I'm scared.
Is he not getting the? If he's not getting the hint,
I'm gonna grab Vidar. I'm gonna say,
Oh no, I had Dimension Door. That was like.
all right, I'm gonna catch back up to the other three, and just be like, I've literally died, and that was the most painful thing I've ever experienced.
did you just say that you saw her this far away? Well, we need to move that thing now.
Yeah, the tree is still sitting there, like, right outside of the garden party. Oh, whoops.
It gets up
Oh, good lord.
Oh,
and walks
you know
over
what?
and picks up Vidar.
It's not the
Dimension
garden
door.
party.
The garden's gone.
Wait, away.
I guess it picks up Iska. I don't know.
Oh, did you not join us with the Dimension Door? You actually go that far away.
I left the vicinity. I
Yeah.
ran.
Okay, so
Just flying
I wouldn't
terror.
do that if I
gone.
didn't want to pick them up. Didn't want to
I mean,
keep
there's
them
Iska there, but yeah.
I don't
I mean,
blame
but
Iska
right
for that.
now, Iska doesn't seem to be able to concentrate very well. It certainly can it can sort of like do the exit stage left. It can very stealthily, this tree sort of very stealthily is like, even I don't want to be here.
Just walks off.
And
The
walks on.
bottom of it's just.
Yeah, the little tip of its hat, it kind of like tips its hat to Luna, of just like, I'm not gonna mess with you, lady, and just like kind of does this weird sidestep of, yeah, that's what the tree, this giant brass awful tree that has now been animated does, with some sort of
Because this tree's sentient, the tree gets it.
tree gets it.
Just walk-
Tree is like,
I'm gone.
I'm out. Yeah.
I imagine once they are, once they're gone, Luna will kind of turn to the guard. She'll relax the eyes and the mouth a bit, just like, if the previous guests return, please inform me before allowing them in. I'd appreciate it.
He looks at you and he's like, yes, ma'am.
Okay. She will stride back to her usual face, and probably present the bottle of the cup, just like, from the adoring public.
This is the good stuff, man. Wow. I never was able. I've had one shot of this in my entire life. He looks around, and you see him he's got this weird champagne flute, actually not a flute, those old fashioned champagne glasses. You see him
brandy bottle.
toss it over. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, just like if he wanted, Luna could pour it for him.
Oh yeah, he tosses out, and since you offer, he puts it out there, and you fill his champagne glass up with this Linford whiskey, and he's like, he goes, Madam V just brought over those people. They want me to do a mural in their house.
That sounds wonderful. Would you like to?
Well, yeah. I mean, they said we would go to Falcon's Crest, and they've got a whole wall that they want me to do a mural, in the same type of style. And he points over to one of the paintings like that. But I guess there's up there. It's on a what did they say? A plateau, and that you look down over a big green valley, and they wanted that up on their wall.
Well, as long as you're up for it, it sounds like an exciting opportunity.
Oh yeah, and they basically were name your price. I just sort of clammed up, and Madame V just sort of pulled them to the side, and she said that she would make sure I got mine. I assume she's good like that, right?
Yes, she's better than I am.
Wow. Okay then. Well, I guess I'm an artist.
You always were. You just have more recognition now.
Huh. Who'd have thunk?
You an artist, me a cleric, courtesan, manager of sorts. I wear a lot more hats than I expected.
You'll always just be Luna to me.
And you'll be Cobb, my dear friend.
I know you got big important things to do in your life. I guess I can hitch my wagon to Madame V, and I'm sure we'll see each other again.
We will. I'll make sure of it. But I want you to remember, Cobb, I treasure our friendship. What I'm going to do is for many people, but you are among one of the top priorities for me. Making this place better for you and your work.
He just kind of rubs his head. I don't know what I did to deserve a friend like you.
Feeling is mutual.
Well, don't forget your piece. And he sort of hands it back to you.
Thank you. And she, and she's like cradling it, like. There's not enough words in this world to truly thank you for what you've done.
I feel the same way.
All right. Well, you better get used to pricing your services. Me and Madam B can't be around forever.
I just got to make it through this next couple hours here without puking.
Yes, that's good whiskey from what I understand. Please do not throw it up.
Oh, it ain't from the whiskey. It's from the fact that people are talking numbers and platinums about my work. I guess there's an auction coming up here at some point.
Yes, there is. And besides Madam V's portion, the rest will be yours. My gift is getting to help you. You owe me nothing.
Well, I guess we should brace ourselves. Looks like they're getting started. And so the auction begins, and I'll go find those rules for our auction to see how much he makes, but it goes extremely well. There are quite a few people who get into bidding wars over a few pieces. Of all things, the piece with the Noblins doing noodles seems to be a hit among some of the gentry. There also are some of these just beautiful impressionistic pieces that the jumps in the bidding are just astronomical as people are there, and you can tell that it's become a station in life. It's a piece of that you got to one of these 6 pieces is being seen as being, the people who got in early, that I knew Cobb before he was Cobb type idea. And there's very much that type of anticipation amongst these people who deal in very fine arts. And as you watch, you see that pieces, a couple people go to folks from Falcon's Crest. You see that some pieces are going to Balathira. You have one piece that is staying in Highmount, another one going to Falinari, and there's another one that you don't recognize the bidder. They seem to be from some foreign place. The only thing that you do notice is around just the very top crown of their head are two very, very tight braids that remind you of Bati's braids from Gualvarine. And one of the pieces does go to whoever that sort of mystery bidder was standing at the back of the room. With that, we will have the group get back together at the end of the day. As you return, Asmodeus is gone. His stay has ended. Apparently his conversation, after lifting his last glass with luck, unless there's any last words you want with him, he bids adieu, and with a slight bow and an elegant pushing through the doors. It's one of those, it's not with a puff or a flourish. He just sort of walks out the front door, but basically just dissolves into ether before actually stepping across the threshold. All of you end up back at the tavern, at the inn, and pack your things and get ready to move out. So as we get our group ready to head out on the road, don't mind as I'm just like pushing you out.
Yeah, no.
We got 30 minutes to push you out the door. y'all have a decision to make. Feel free to discuss it in character or out about how you need to get to the center of the Vice. You have to end up at west in order to get to the entrance of the Vice, as you know. There are a couple ways you can go. You're here in Highmount. I can pull the map up for you if that will help a little bit. Put you over here. It's an older map, but it still works.
I don't know why my camera keeps doing that.
You guys are down in Highmount right now. And basically need to head up the road through the Dulcimer Riverlands. You can go through Sojourn's Crossing and back down to west. This is an older map, so I actually don't have the swamp that Moss Hollow is in, but basically between, in that sort of quadrant between west and the Dulcimer Riverlands is the Glenspire swamp where Moss Hollow and Gwilynfiora's skeleton is. You can pass through there because there is, you actually entered it from, you know that there's basically a through road that passes through Moss Hollow, basically to cut off the corner of Sojourn's. So it is up to you of how all you would like to basically travel to get back. Certainly you could stop in with Gwilynfiora and Moss Hollow and all of that. You also could go through Sojourns. You do know you need to pick up Gandry at some point along the way. But other than that, you actually have a little bit of leeway. It's about a month of travel. Certainly, times can be shortened or extended based off of whether you want to try to use the Dragon Stride or something else. But pretty much, figure we're going to basically do a month of downtime where we can sort of discuss what all you do during that time. So, what are y'all thinking?
Teleport.
Or that's the other thing you can do. You do have a teleport scroll. You actually have a second teleport scroll if you want to cash it in, but certainly don't have to. You do have time. It's 49 days from yesterday that you need to get to the center of the Vice for when the gate will open and the seed needs to be planted. The Indigo seed ritual needs to be performed. So, certainly passing through Sojourn's Crossing. I mean, if you want to bump into Harold and chat with him, get Gandry up there. You can certainly, if you want to stop in at Gwilynfiora's and check in on how things are going there, and then still head up to Sojourn's, that's acceptable as well.
Axel's very much on board stopping with Gwilynfiora now, especially we have on Malak.
Sure.
And things are falling into place. We need to communicate things.
Yeah,
Okay.
God's down for that too.
Okay. So then, would you want to cut the corner, or would you want to still then go up to Sojourn's? You could have Gandry meet you along the way, but he would be traveling basically alone.
I'd rather I have no problem stopping and going through. I'd rather pick him up at Sojourn's first.
Yeah, because there's on the way.
So yeah, actually we could do that.
We
You could do a Highmount to Sojourn's, and then stop. Basically the same way that you did at the beginning of the campaign. As you leave Sojourn's, go through Gwilynfiora's, and then end up at West. That is certainly a way that you could go.
I think that would work well.
Okay.
I can gate us to the tavern out of town, but then.
That actually is going to add a little bit of time. If you look at the map from Highmount, it's a day east of Highmount. So whether you leave from Highmount or leave from there, it's basically a triangle because you can see how it sort of loops around there.
Okay.
Where that, if you take this sort of straight area that goes straight down. If you followed that before it curves to High Mount, basically that's where the tavern is. Right there, that fork above the H is sort of right where the Cathedral of Purity was.
All right. Okay, well, then I was trying to save a day, but yep, I don't have, because I put money aside for spells, I don't actually have enough to keep us dragon striding the whole way.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Dragon Stride certainly will quicken things. The roads are going to be a little bit crowded here at the first part of the journey in order to be able to do that. But you can, like I say, between judicious use of dragon striding when you need to, you're going to be able to make it in time. Pretty much, unless you just go completely off the rails, which with a small party we could, but
going off the rails on a crazy train.
So,
yes,
what types of things is everyone planning to do? But Kyle, we will talk offline a little bit about how to do the Ryan Talia things of you continuing to retry that and where that leads to. And just so I can be prepped for next time. So we're just going to go right around the room. So Axel, Templar Warden, what are the things that you basically have a month to work on things?
He is going to do, but of course he's going to do his usual studies into magic, runes. He's going to be copying some spells into his spellbook.
Okay.
From both the Necromancer's Tome, from the spellbook, and from some scrolls. He's also going, I forgot. Go ahead.
So just let me know what runes you're studying next. I believe you have. I mean, you gave me your old list. I just don't know if they've changed.
I can never remember the list that I've given you.
Well, it was Cosmos. I know it was Cosmos. It was Gate, which we've worked on some, and then I'll have to look what the third one was as well. I have the third one. But again, if you want to change that up, the big thing, and I think we've talked this. I'm not sure if we have or not. I don't know if I've even updated it. If I updated your
Soul, right?
Soul is the one that you couldn't translate before. You now have this. You now could investigate the Soul rune.
I think he's going to continue on with Cosmos, to be honest.
Okay.
He'll. Cosmos. He's going to study that one,
okay.
And also another thing that he's going to do is he's going to get some help with this. But he is going to finally get around to making a dog construct size thing, for to put a rune in when we need a combat dog.
Gotcha.
So it's more intended to be a support creature than a armor or a Riley.
Cool. I will say just in a little bit of your we'll get into that when we actually start saying how these things go.
Plenty of time with Riley, so he's probably going to not have a lot of time for any of these things, even over the month.
Okay. Isco, what are you going to be doing?
I heard a song recently that was very interesting, one I never heard before. So she's going to be trying to transcribe this little catchy tune she picked up. Might be a little difficult. So we'll probably take a few weeks to really get all the notes down. But
so you're going to try to learn Asmodeus' song that he...
Yep.
Okay, I love it.
We're not paying him for copyright.
No. You just add an extra note.
Anything else other than that, or that's pretty much going to be Iska is
Vice, baby.
Yes.
That'll probably be Iska.
Okay, and there could be other things. Again, when we get to Sojourns, we're going to do some role playing again.
More than that. That's going to be it, I think.
Okay.
I'll get back to you if I think of anything more compelling than that.
How about Luna?
Luna, in the time, she'd probably like to be working with Lily and Tara.
Yep.
Because Tara's going to be with us, right?
Yep. Lily and Tara will be with us. Sorry, my Nick's wife's name is Tara. There
you go. And so she'll be working with them. One on cartography stuff. She wants to make sure that they can orient themselves, and also she's not so much going to be teach them fighting per se. It's more she wants to make sure they're limber and like if they need to get out of the way, they can.
Yeah.
So more evasive skills.
Yeah, evading and defense. Okay, I love it.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure at some point she will help Riley with his style choices.
Yes, that is fine. How about luck?
We'll probably just keep practicing this writing and
Yep.
reading, and just probably just continue writing about the exploits that's happened,
Gotcha.
minus a few details that were not allowed for.
Yeah, no, that works. Anything specific for Riley? Other than bow and things like that.
I think he'll probably have a bit of time. He'll probably be hanging out with, okay, I guess, Terra is probably roughly, I guess, more familiar to him. They're more his sort of mental age, I guess, so I'm not really sure how it works out, but...
Lily is probably more his mental age.
Yeah.
Tara's actually, is
yeah, fair enough.
a little bit older. But no, certainly hanging out with Lily would be fast friends.
Yeah.
They
I
both
think
have
so.
that innocence about them.
Yeah, I think he'll do that. He'll, again, have practice with his bow and arrow, and just... I think he's going to start taking up collecting just plant samples and sort of pressing them and sort of storing them in sort of like a flower pressing or something like that. But in terms of actual training, other than the stuff that sort of Axel does with him, I think he's gonna generally not, which would be bow training and just like familiarizing himself with his own magic.
Yep. Okay.
So that's really about it.
So yeah, you guys head out from High Mount the next day, back on the road again. I mean, it's that sort of familiar. You quickly get into that sort of familiar place of that nostalgia that you all have for the road, and all of the things that sort of brought you all together. You sort of felt the same way when you were on the road heading to Sojourn's Crossing down after Elevation Pit, and it's that same kind of just the easier times where there wasn't so much pressing. There's big events to come, but you also know there's a month just to sort of catch your breath. Iska, you begin work on this song. It's going to take you a while. First, the first easy 4 or 5 days are just, even kind of remembering how it went. Did it go this way or did it go that way? I mean, you remember sort of the big pieces, but it's mainly just even beginning to start reconstructing it in your head and, pulling out the actual sound of the song through your nerves that you were feeling at the time of being in this competition. Axel, you begin work on the Cosmos rune and start really pulling together the thoughts of this sort of dog construct that you want to build. Just as you had to before, back when you were going through Smuggler's Run, keeping your eye out here in the Riverlands for different materials and pieces that you could use to build this construct up to a size that you would want it to be. Vidar, when you're able to, you challenge Ryan Talia. Each time it wearing on you a little bit more. And is there anything else other than between your attempts at trying to bring Ryan Talia around that you are working on?
Over the course of traveling as well, like in the mornings he'd take the flint dagger and see if if Riley would like to do like a morning spa, just so we can get used to, if that's okay with Axel. I'd ask Axel first, and give him a spa with Ryan Talia and Lysithia, so he can become a bit more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That whole transitioning from shooting with a bow to Lysithia being to turn into a sword and for close combat. That is, Riley has always been so far a ranged fighter, and to suddenly, to understand what it means to then switch into close combat. Luna, your cartography lessons, Tara and Lily are fast students. And learn it. Lily seems to get a little bit distracted, mainly because you in sort of the back of this wagon where you're spreading out cartography tools. You and Tara will get sort of into very much the details, and Lily gets distracted because her favorite spot is up in the front with Luck, because one of the things that, for good or bad, the cathedral was very adamant about was reading and writing. And so Lily will often sit next to Luck up on the front as he's driving the horses and work with Luck on his reading. It is about 5 days into the journey. You are just passing sort of out of the Riverlands. You've used Dragon Stride a couple times. You also sort of got out in front of the crowd, and you are sort of going through this sort of open space along the way. Things are going well. That time is being well spent. You all are feeling more rested. The only person who does seem to be still getting drugged further and further down is Vidar, as this battle of wills with Ryan Talia continues. And Luck, as you're sitting up on the front with your heightened perception, you feel it's almost like a storm is coming on. You feel that sort of that tang of ozone in the air, and there's a brief moment where you wonder if, oh gosh, is this another storm like we encountered way back in our early adventures, dust storm? But this is a much wetter area. You don't see any clouds whatsoever in the sky, but you sort of feel that strange rising of the hairs on the back of your arms, and that tang of ozone. If I can get the rest of the party to roll a perception check.
Yeah. Also a thing, every night he is putting us, Axel sets up a Shadow of Shimdala protection around everyone.
Okay.
Just so, secrecy and stuff.
Yep.
I got a 13. Yay. And Riley. 12.
Oh wait, that's a disadvantage.
Depending on the day, it could be or couldn't be. So anyway, basically, we'll say that everyone rolled right around the 12, 13, 14 idea. Most of the rest of you are going along your normal day. And as dusk begins to fall, you all hear a crack. At first, you think that is it a breaking branch? Is it something else? But then you feel it. As a bolt of lightning comes shooting out from behind this copse of trees up ahead of you. I need for Luck, Iska, Axel, and it's gonna be Riley to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
22 for Riley.
And
10 for Axel.
this bolt of lightning comes shooting out. The reason why you sensed it so much is because of your own right of luck, as this chain lightning comes shooting out of the trees and hits you. You take 17 points of lightning damage as it slams into you. As it jumps, Iska, 17 points of lightning damage. Riley, 17 points of lightning damage. And Axel is hit with the full force of this, throwing him off the back of the wagon, taking 35 points of lightning damage as you look over to the side of the road and you see a figure standing there in blue dragon scale armor, a mask across the top of their eyes, as the blue dragon flight, under the orders of the masked dragon, have ambushed y'all. We will begin next time by rolling initiative. And that's where we're going to end our episode today.
Nothing good ever lasts.
Nope. Nope.
It's a mage! Yes!
I am very
What do I
excited
have
about that
prepped
too.
for today?
So we will be jumping right into combat next time, and I am looking forward to this, as it is the last of the Dragonflight Syndicate that we have been dealing with. We're back on this side, and apparently someone has ordered them to take out some folks because, you know.
Hi everyone.
Anyway, let's go around real quick and meet our players. Let's start off with Dragons or Cats. Where can we find you out there?
Hello everyone, my name is Dragons and Cats, and I was playing Vidar Lycran, our disaster warlock specialist, and ruiner of good times and good moments. You can catch me on the Twitch and the Twitters as Dragons and Cats. Probably going to try to start streaming again more often instead of just the casual D&D night. So come check us out.
Cool. Next up, Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the Dragon Cat Tabaxi Wizard. Cat Tabaxi Wizard. That works. Yeah, this is interesting. Shopping, getting all the very expensive gems that I'm going to use for spells. Absolutely. Just the spells. It's not like they're building up in his bag or anything. Hey, I don't have a problem. I'm a dragon.
You know, it's interesting
find
that
me-
you always were a hoarder of trinkets, even when, like, from episode 2, and now it turns out that you actually have dragon blood in you, so it just all makes sense now.
That's great. I love it. Yep. You may find me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may find me on Twitter at Rune Templar. You may find me and everyone else here in the Discord if you wish to join us there and chat when we occasionally talk, or visit the pun room. We have one of those dedicated puns just for you.
Next up, Bird versus Plane.
Hello, I'm Verdert Dane, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Bird vs. Plane. Honestly, just bemoaning the same old stuff I usually do. So, yeah, very fun session, and I'm looking forward to more combat.
Woohoo!
Eradicating the last of these people. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the swear jar.
Yeah, I owe as well. Next up, NNG9. Loved those scenes. That was so much fun.
Very good session today. Yeah, I'm NNG9 on Twitch, where I stream recently mostly Monster Hunter Iceborne, because there's still more story to do, and I love the Guiding Land.
There's that
Also,
smile
you can-
again.
Yeah. Also, you can find me on Twitter, NNG98. Tweet puns, normally tweet when I'm live when I remember to, and also Dragonflight Syndicate. See me with them hands.
Woohoo! And last but not least, Good Guy
Absolute
Pie.
cats.
Hi everyone, I'm Good Guy Pie. You can find me at Good Guy Pie on Twitch too. Good to Guy on Twitter.
I've been tweeting a lot of art stuff out because there's some really good artists, and you should follow every single one of them. Anyway, and yeah, fantastic session, and it's a mage. I'm built for this.
You are built for this. And yeah, dude, I love that scene we had with Asmodeus. I was sort of like, well, let's just do a little something more. And then it like turned into like deep, cool stuff. I love it. Anyway, I am Tall Squall. I had a blast today. I always love getting together with these people and telling a story. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Thank you for donations. Thank you for just watching with us. Until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that is what it's all about. Let me see who's out there that we can throw you to. We are going to go raid Madame Gandalf, and until next time, as I said, gather your friends together, tell a story. Remember that kindness is a free action. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Hello.